to buy another weighted vest.
You have to start light and work your way up in weight. It's called gradual progression. You also want to maintain good posture and initially stick to a flat surface. So how much weight exactly does it take to make an impact?
If you're a smaller female or male, maybe a 2 to 5 pound weight to start, right? Especially if you're not used to exercising, you know, an average to larger size male, maybe it's 10 to 15 pounds. And again, that would be on also your fitness level.
And who knows, maybe walking around in this vest will prompt you to sing and dance. Now, I will wear my weighted vest at home when I'm doing some housework. Maybe I'm doing laundry, going up and down the steps, or on my treadmill at home. It just feels like it adds a little extra resistance. Bottom line, start off real slow and then keep ramping it up. That's HealthWorks. I'm Dina Santafanti.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, a newborn baby appears to pop up on a Detroit porch, but there's much more to the story than meets the eye. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack sat down with the family to find out exactly what happened. She's live on the city's west side. And Jess, there's a good ending to this story.
There is a very good ending, Roop, but let's start with the nonprofit that reached out to us a couple of days ago saying that the 16-year-old, she wanted to share her story, her perspective, clarify some things because her story went absolutely viral. She wants to explain why she lied to her mom in the first place, and it really comes down to the fact that she was terrified. She didn't know what to do. Her family is already cash-strapped, and now this.
How does this all make you feel?
I'm happy now. I was just scared at first, but...
And how old are you?
16.
Peyton Peoples didn't even know she was pregnant until it was happening on Thanksgiving.
I was laying in bed, my water had broke, and I went in the bathroom, and I had Paxton. And when let me go into depth a little more.
3 pushes into the toilet, and there he was. Peyton's mom, Kyra, was at a family member's Peyton home alone.
I cleaned him off, and then I looked up on TikTok how to cut my umbilical cord, and I cut the cord.
She was terrified and spun a tale that someone dumped the baby on the porch of her family's West Side Detroit home. He was never on the porch.
Huh? Why on my porch? That's what I kept asking. Why out on my porch? Why my porch? Why my porch?
Kyra believed her daughter. They're close. Posting this on social media, and it spread everywhere. They called 911. Detroit police then brought Peyton into Children's Hospital downtown Detroit to be ruled out as the mom. That's when Peyton fessed up. Little Paxton was hers.
It was already hard for her to raise us, so it was like, that's just adding another burden on her back, and I didn't want to do that.
You're not a burden. The baby is always a blessing. It was just that my baby went through this by herself.
Kyra, a single mom to 4 kids. Money was already tight, and now a grandbaby.
We're going to figure it out. I'm going to keep going to work. She's going back to school. I'm going to do midnights. She's going to go to school in the day. We're going to switch off.
One thing that this family said they really just could not talk about was the infant's father. He was murdered 7 months ago in a robbery. Now, of course, Peyton has some regrets, what happened before this baby was born. But let's remember, she's 16 years old. She says she's now committed to being a mom. Reporting on Detroit's West Side, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
You think about that age, 16 years old, a young person herself in so many ways, still trying to figure out this world. What a difficult, tall order has been placed right there. But in the meantime, I do find it interesting that she found a way to learn how to, cut that umbilical cord by looking at social media, a place where so many people spend so much time, especially young people, actually helped in this particular situation.
Yeah, that's right, Roop. When she said that in our interview, I audibly gasped because it's just so unbelievable to me that you could even find that on TikTok. But yeah, one of those situations where social media actually help. But of course, this is a cautionary tale. If you feel weird as a teenager or something just doesn't seem right because she just thought maybe she was ill or something like that, you got to speak up. You got to talk to your parents or a trusted adult about what you're going through.
And even if it's not mom or dad or someone who you're very close with, another adult who can help advise you so that you don't have to take those risks that she had to take. Well, I'm glad that there was a good ending to this. Jessica Dupnack for us live tonight. Thank you. Metro Detroit road crews have been busy tonight, scooping up snow and salting streets. Roads are starting to clear up, like here in Melvindale outside City Hall, but it's still slippery, so watch your step. They also spotted snowflakes flying around Metro Detroit. In fact, near the RoboCop statue at Eastern Market, the bronze sculpture is now on display right now, right there on Russell, south of Mack Avenue. Weather Authority Rich Luderman has been tracking the snow all day. He remembers RoboCop. The original, the movie, remember, 1987?
Big time. Are you kidding? Love that. We did have a burst of snow between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock this evening. That snow has now quickly raced off to the east. There's very little left on radar. A couple of flurries closer to Point Pelee. Live pictures from Southfield. You can see it looks better out there with improving conditions. 27, that's our high today. 19 the low. About a ½ inch in some areas late today and early this evening. But temperatures here are going to be falling for the rest of tonight as that wind picks up from the west and northwest. Here are the current wind chills. Here are the current temperatures. 20 in Chicago. It's 5 degrees up there in Minneapolis, 7 above in Marquette. So high pressure builds in, gives us plenty of cold air for Thursday and Friday into Saturday morning. But thankfully, we'll see at least some sunshine the next few days. For the rest of tonight, a few flurries down to 17. Tomorrow's high, 23. So it will be cold walking up to Ford Field for football tomorrow evening. And there it is, the 7-day forecast. No warm up for the weekend. Some light wintry mix into next week. Roop, we'll check it for you at 4 a.m.
This idea that she's creating a toxic workplace is crazy to me when it's very clear every time I've come to Board of Commissioners meetings that I witness toxic behavior.
A debate in Washington County. Who's the real problem, the Board of Commissioners or the sheriff? This follows accusations of a toxic work environment within the office. As a result, the board is stripping the sheriff's office of its HR responsibility and giving them to the county instead. A number of speakers tonight didn't like how the board handled it.
What I experienced yet again the last meeting was more berating and condescending of our new progressive sheriff by commissioners, and it left me feeling sickened, and it also rattles every feminist bone in my body.
At the last meeting, several on the board made horrific and troubling statements advocating for lockdowns to be used as a cost-saving measure. The sheriff refused to listen and called it out, and now you are retaliating against her. It's shameful.
The commission says it is committed to providing a safe and respectful work environment. A massive proposed artificial intelligence data center in Saline Township causing an uproar. Residents stressing concerns about energy costs and transparency. Tonight, many voiced their fears during another public hearing after protesting. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards has the latest.
Folks continue to speak out against that data center. There was that virtual meeting where so many people called in. But first, there was the protest. Take a look at that happening in downtown Detroit. Now, a group of residents from Saline Township area protesting across the street from DTE offices. Their goal, they say, they want DTE to undergo public scrutiny for their role in pushing the data center project forward. They say the Michigan Public Service Commission has the power to hold them accountable to the public and hear what they have to say. MPSC held at virtual public meeting. Many called in, some against it, some for it. Take a listen.
Having watched many videos on your YouTube channel, all three of you profess to be very interested in taking care of the public interest. You're worried about the future of stranded assets and making sure that we're protected. And so I believe the best circumstance for that would be to have this be a contested case. And as one of the Detroit natives might say, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
I just wanted to say that the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce is in support of DTE's request for approval. And I just wanted to make sure that that we let you guys know that in strength for the economy, workforce, and energy, we really see that this is going to be benefiting all of our customers.
Fox 2 reached out to DTE and they provided this statement, which reads in part, quote, DTE Energy has an obligation to to serve any customer, business or residential, that establishes in our service territory. To be clear, the energy contracts that were submitted to the Michigan Public Service Commission to support Oracle's data center in Saline Township will not increase rates for our existing customers. In fact, in its filing, DTE is asking for the MPSC to approve additional terms of service that create safeguards to protect our existing customers. Now, if you would like to read that entire statement in its entirety, you could head to fox2detroit.com. And I also got a chance to reach out to OpenAI. I'm just waiting to hear back. I'm Lauren Edwards reporting live on The Edge.
Sexual harassment claims against a man who once ran for mayor of Westland. The claim so serious the Department of Justice is now suing him. William Asper owns and manages rental properties in and around Westland. Some of the claims accuse him of exposing himself to tenants and asking for sex in exchange for housing benefits. This could violate the Fair Housing Act. A former male tenant who didn't want to be identified describes a very disturbing encounter where Asper allegedly walked into his apartment unannounced.
As he walks up the stairs, I'm standing there completely naked, getting ready to get into the shower, and makes a sexual comment stating that my area isn't big enough to be in his home and to get out.
We are working to find out whether Asper could face criminal charges. Well, police will tell you there's no such thing a traffic stop. Well, recently in Melvindale, 2 officers delivered a baby on the side of the road. Tonight, they were reunited with the mom and baby, the city honoring the officers for their quick actions.
She was very impressed the way our officers worked as a team. Officer El Hassan and Mo asked them, hey, go move the cars. Both of our officers blocked the view from anybody passing by. They weren't right in the doorway, gave her respect and her dignity that every mother deserves.
This is a spectacular run and a great coordination between the police department and the fire department once again. So we all really appreciate that.
I think this highlights the cooperation and the teamwork between our cities and our departments, and I appreciate you guys.
Everybody.
Oh, that little baby and mom are doing just fine tonight.
While he pulled, I pushed, and he delivered her.
Why a different dad had to deliver his wife's baby on the side of a busy road. Coming up on The Edge. But first,
we'll continue to ship this poison. Remember, these are foreign designated terrorist organizations that are hell-bent on killing American citizens.
How the feds are fighting back against the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. You're watching The Edge at 11. Live.
is The Edge at 11.
There's no doubt that these traffickers, these foreign terrorists, are designated to target our kids.
A fentanyl-free America. That's what the Drug Enforcement Administration is calling a new ad campaign. The head of the department, Terry Cole, says they want to educate people about the dangers of fentanyl.